Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another daily video. So I know this isn't a video game news video, but this is something that is very near and dear to me and which will ultimately bleed into, well, media like video games, Space Marine 3, Dawn of War 4 or 5 maybe, and then we will also see this in the Amazon show, we will see this in Warhammer Plus animations and so on. This is not even just the beginning, this has been a thing for a while now. What am I talking about? So, what does Warhammer have in common with Concord, Star Wars, Assassin's Creed, Dragon Age, Suicide Squad, Battlefield, well, the Battlefields before 6. Then we have Marvel, Terminator, Doctor Who, and many more franchises. Yeah, well, it's the wokest leftists that are infiltrating our hobbies, that are infiltrating our media that we use to escape reality. And it's not stopping, even though we have so many examples of when these things, well, they ruined everything. And before you come into this and say, oh, but you are a tourist, you don't know 40k, you don't know Warhammer. No, just a quick background story for me. I've been in the Warhammer hobby since early 2004. I started my journey into tabletop wargaming with the end of 3rd edition, 40k, and really went into it with 4th edition at the end of 2004. Also, I started, of course, Old World, I played Mordheim and so on. I played Space Hulk, Battlefleet Gothic and so on. And I was a Games Workshop employee for 4 years. I have, in some of my videos, still employee shirts from Games Days that we held in Köln or Cologne, whatever you say in English. At least when Games Workshop had Games Days here in Germany. But yeah, over the last couple of days, the female Custodes argument has come up again for obvious reasons, and we're going to talk about this one. And before you come at me and, oh, you just hate women, you just hate that they are represented here and so on. No, I absolutely do not, and I will show you some proof of it, one of which is here, Indrasta by Age of Sigmar. This is the only Stormcast model that I've kept. Every other Stormcast model I had, I sold because I'm just not playing the army, I'm just not playing Spearhead with Stormcasts. I have other factions that I do with it. But despite her haircut, god damn it, you know what I mean. Her character is awesome. She is flawed, she has issues, she feels real. And I even interviewed the author Noor van Nguyen in a video. And he's such a lovely guy, by the way. That was a really good interview. We talked about a couple of issues with the Black Library and Warhammer. But yeah, let's dive in. We have this here, John Blanche Custodes. This is a very easy Google search, and I do love John Blanche's art style. While he's using the Zorn palette, even though he did not know what the Zorn palette is, which came out in an interview. But these are the archetype Custodes, and we always had this the intensely tall helmets, even higher than the Eldar ones, and so on. And yes, this is Rogel Dawn, I know. But just the complete art style. And you can see how they are just depicted here with, the armor and how heroic they are. And this larger than life, even larger than Space Marines thing. And then again, before you come at me with, yeah, you just hate women and so on, this is my, uh, at least English, Warhammer channel. Beardhammer Hobbies. It was Beardhammer Wargaming, but I changed it because I'm kinda losing my love for Warhammer over the years. I have 105 reviews of Black Library novels here. And this is only those that I've reviewed. I've read Black Library novels for over 21 years. And you can also see here Book of Martyrs. It's a Sororitas novel, great novel. This is proof of me talking about this for over 5 years. And I even gave, oh, there it is, in Druster. Oh no, this is a short story, I'm sorry. Danny Ware, the author, amazing. Here it is, The Triumph of St. Catherine is a fantastic novel. This is where I gave Danny Ware the title of Lady Canoness because she's great. Her books are amazing. And I even have other novels. We have to go a little bit further down here because I'm already saying it in the title. Oh yeah, we have Ephrael Stern, also great novel. We have The Rose at War. It's good story. Covens of Blood. I was one of the few people that really liked it. I don't know why, but yeah, maybe that's just me. And yeah, many, many more. We have so many novels and short stories where I'm proving that it's not hating women, it's hating bad stories, it's hating bad representation. We also have here The Last Volari by Gary Kloster. I've also read the second novel, but I think I forgot to add it to the thingy here, to the playlist. But where is it? Oh yes, Temple of Silence, by the way. Doralia and Galen Rendanced, the father-daughter combo, also great. Neve Blacktalon, awesome, love her. Season 2 is bad of her of her animation on Warhammer Plus. And where is it? The Talia Vedra story. Here it is. One of the best Warhammer Age of Sigmar characters, and I still stand by that. The first Wotan novel here has me torn because I want more, and the main character is also a female dwarf, but she's awesome. I love her. The Age of Sigmar Anvils of the Heldenhammer novel also had female representation in there. It was great. And our Marlo Starkblade, Stanton, Maluneth Witchblade, she's one of my favorite characters. And yeah, so I know that was a long wind up here, but also this is just, again, the English version of my hobby channel. I have also another one in German, which translates to The Warhammer Dude. And I'm, again, not talking about Warhammer that much anymore. So, then we had this. By the Archcast, female Custodes are now a thing. The other models are either androgynous or female leaning, which is fair. Also, I forgot this. I'm not so active on X, but yeah, I have to do something about that. So, the thing here is, we already knew that female Custodes are a thing. I've used it in my thumbnail for the live stream because I watched it. I already saw what happened in the Codex as it was released. But I'm always talking in my live streams about how 40k has a big lore issue. And it's just bad because there are some things that are not well thought through and they have so many issues. My favorite example is the Terminus Decree for the Grey Knights. I have every codex of the Demon Hunters. They are my favorite boys. I love them even more than my Ultramarines. I have every special edition codex, every spicy codex of them. The last one I didn't buy because they're kinda ruining everything. I broke my limited edition codex streak. But this is another issue here. So, and then we have also this. Hold on, I just noticed they forgot the trigger. Classic, let me hear it again. Gender, politics, and law do not mix. And I totally agree. The addition of the one always makes the others suffer. Absolutely right. So, I also had people here trying to explain this. Yeah, but this is probably just you have to turn the handle. Yeah, okay, so it's a broomstick. So you're wringing out a piece of cloth to wipe the floor or whatever, or what is what is this? It's also not telepathic or anything because it's still, yes, it's the 30k universe. Yes, the Custodes have technology from the Golden Age and so on, but they're not using it that much. The dreadnoughts and their tanks are the most common thing that they are using, but even then it has issues explaining this, that this is a regular tech. And the other thing, which I also saw in the comments, is so the female Custodes have to work on a stick, basically. So yeah, it's the shake weight of the 40k universe. Oh, sorry, the 30k universe. But then again, you can use the models in 40k as well. So, Games Workshop already knew that this is coming at them. You can also see the like to dislike ratio on the video. We're going to go and look at it again without sound. I'm sorry, we're going to do that without it. So this is the trailer and how they represent it. I already talked about it in the live stream, but I also have to admit I overreacted a little bit. I was emotional. I completely admit that. It was wrong of me, but here we are. And now this is why I want to talk about this in a little bit more of a way. That was perfect grammatic. Perfect. I want to talk about it more calmly and more with a point behind that. So, then we have this here. You can see, okay, Custodes, I was really excited about this. So we have the John Blanche, even higher helmets. We have the upscaled Custodes here. But there was something off, and I wasn't really aware of that. And it's just a minor detail on the armor. I do love the armor, by the way. There is no mistake in that. I will not say anything against that. But have you seen anything? This is, by the way, the trailer that we also have here. And the comment section is still active, by the way. That is very brave. I just came here for the comments, Erebus. Okay, you have my updude here. I love that one. You see no female heads here in the trailer. This is complete obfuscation of what is going to happen. And this is by design. Then we have to go a little bit further here. Still no female heads. By the way, awesome cape. The capes, the whole design is peak, by the way, of the armor. But what I'm trying to say here with what kinda got me worried, just look at the leg armor. Isn't it weird? Just look at John Blanche's armor. Yes, we have the boots, which I personally really like. I do like the boots on the Custodes. But we also have this with, again, the bolts and so on. I don't know why this is so pixelated. I'm really sorry about that one. Do we have more Custodes? No. Oh no, this is also not a Custodes. This is a Thunder Warrior. Is it? Yeah, might be. It's too pixelated for me to see. But yeah, let's go and look at the regular models. Oh yeah, also the only models that I have left of the Custodes are here the Talents of the Emperor, Valerian and Alea. Both of them I do love. That he got the laurels from Gilliman, the Primarch of the Ultramarines. I do love this scene where he's really uncomfortable with that because the other Custodes are seeing this as a bad take, basically, and that she got Somnus, the blade, from him as well, is also like, this is too big of an honor. And I have the Blade Champion because, again, the whole aesthetic design of the Blade Champion, ah, beautiful. I just built mine with the sword and the knife. But then, let's go and look at these leg armors. This is more akin to what we have with the John Blanche style. We have at least... Oh yeah, wait. The other one was also Thunder Warrior with the Thunderbolts. Of course, that makes sense. But yeah, we have the Imperial Aquila here on the leg armor. We have this on the regular Custodian Guard as well. We have this on the Shield Captain and so on. But this is not represented here. But it is represented on the Stormcast Eternals. This is, again, a design choice. And I say it again, with the Stormcast Eternals, it makes sense. These are the greatest heroes. This is not their original body. This is people who died in a heroic way. I'm sorry. People that died in a heroic way, their souls are getting sucked up into Azir. They've been remade, brainwashed and everything, and they've been sent in with magical bodies. And yeah, we have the different types of chest armor for both of them. But then again, in Age of Sigmar, we also kinda get this, but this is another topic. Let's just stay with the Custodes for now. So then again, this is not an issue of representation. It is an issue of how they're doing it. They did not listen to the first outcries of, yeah, well, people saying this is a bad take, and they know it. Just look at this. They're still obfuscating this. This is real time, by the way, that they're talking about this. I have to go forth. Oh, there it was already. It's in the background. We have this again here, androgynous, and this guy just looks, I don't know, he looks really weird. He looks like a baby, doesn't it? He doesn't look like a warrior. This is what basically looks like what a Karen imagines a guy looks like. And then we have the top knots. Okay, that fits the model. The hair has to go somewhere in the helmet. But why? It doesn't make sense. But we will come to that in a moment. And again, it's blurred out. It's always in the background. Then it is in the foreground. Then we will see the model. But they're not talking about them. They're just acting like they're not there. This is a very obvious take of we're not talking about this. We're just letting it sit there and wait what's going to happen. And then you see, I have to type a couple of times here, go forth 5 seconds and so on. The first time we see the head of the Shield Captain. And this is where I also said in the live stream, where is the male version of the head? They're just talking about the Shield Captain, that they can go toe to toe with a Primarch. So when will we see a story where a female Shield Captain will beat Lionel Johnson one of the greatest duelists of the Primarchs, the demigods of war. When we will see a shield captain, a female one, beat Lionel Johnson in a duel? It will happen. It will happen with Lehman Russ probably as well, because he is the brash one. He is the one who is not taking authority well. And we know that the Custodes are very authoritarian figures here. Probably the wrong word, but I do not care right now. This is also a thing with... It's just so wrong. It is the whole stick that they are pulling here. It just has so many issues. I am a lore guy. There have been many retcons in the history of 40k, of Old World, of Age of Sigmar, many of which are fine, many of which are good, some are bad. This one is on the nose and it's atrocious. It is just lazy. It is just eat the slop. And if you are one of those people that just come and say, hey, we have plastic tanks, we have plastic dreadnoughts, which, by the way, they also mentioned that the plastic dreadnoughts will also have different chests. And so I'm waiting for the boob armor on the dreadnoughts, by the way. But, and if you say, yeah, just ignore this, we have this in plastic, that is an issue. That is you saying, I don't care about this, which is fine, by the way. But then you are a blind consumer, because this has ramifications for later. We have amazing female representation. We have this in 40k, in Old World, and in Age of Sigmar. And yeah, it is not a big secret. We talk about the Sisters of Battle. Again, I have here multiple videos where I praised them a couple of years ago. But I also criticize points in those stories where it just doesn't make sense. I also have... I'm trying to stay calm here. I'm sorry. So let's go back to this one. Sisters of Silence are one of the best factions in Warhammer, the sci-fi version. They are peak. They can go on toe-to-toe with Space Marines due to their natural ability of being blanks. Their swordsmanship is fantastic. Where is the representation? They are fantastic. I do love the Sisters of Silence. The sororitas are amazing. Again, the triumph of St. Catherine is the culmination of all the big 6 sororities that come together. And they have a representative of every one of those orders to have this procession of this beautiful thing. And it's not enough. These are 2 completely exclusive female lines, one of which is discarded. They have only 1 plastic kit, which you have to use to have, 3 different units. And one of the models is a hero model. So you have to sacrifice one of your models to have a hero model. They don't even get a dedicated hero model for their line. Yeah, you can use Alea in the Talents of the Emperor box. That's not enough. Yes, you have Forge World Then you have to then you have to use a resin model, which is bad. I mean, she looks amazing. I'm sorry I forgot her name in the 30k universe, but it doesn't make it better. We have a tank. Where is that one? That tank, by the way, is freaking fantastic. Where is that one? Again, we have in the lore a faction that has been now completely abandoned to infiltrate another male exclusive line. We have the Space Marines as a male exclusive thing, and the Custodes. This is a 2-on-2. And we have the Talents of the Emperor, which is, by design, men and women working together, complementing each other with the things they cannot do. We have the Custodes. They have the physical ability to beat anything, but they lack the ability to fight demons. They lack the ability to fight psychers. We have the Sisters of Silence for that. They are, in essence, anti-demon, anti-psyker forces. Just like the Grey Knights, but on another level. They can beat Grey Knights. Again, my favorite faction of all. But I still do love the Sisters of Silence because, again, they are fantastic. And here we have, again, men and women working together. We have the Custodes on the one and the Sisters of Silence on the other. And a beautiful relationship of fighting for the Imperium of Man, fighting for the Emperor. Where is this now? And we're going to talk about the lore a little bit more. And then again, we only have the mention of this video with her. And where is the male head? Do we have to go into the Custodes regular box and kit bash it? Which is not fair, by the way. But yeah, why is this such a big thing? This is also a big thing because it is about the fantasy. Yes, there are women in the hobby, and this is amazing. But do you know what the majority of the women want in the hobby? They want to have a good time. As a veteran in the hobby and as an ex-employee, I have a lot of people that I've met a lot of people. Sorry, I'm getting emotional again. Mostly of nostalgia. But I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of women in the hobby. And due to my channels, again, a German and an English one, I've also met other women in the hobby as well. The majority of them like the ugly Gribblies, the Tyranids, the Nurgles, and so on. And of course, the Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle. But then again, where is the representation in Inquisition? Where are the female Inquisitors? We have a lot of them. Where is Bequin? One of my favorite characters. She still doesn't have a model. We have Eisenhorn. Where is Bequin? We have Minka Lesk, which is also, again, great character. Severina Rain, the Commissar. She's gone. She had a couple of short stories. She has an amazing book. One of my favorite novels, which I regret to have not a review for, but it's fantastic. We have multiple female characters in Space Marine novels that are fantastic. Where are those? Where is more representation in the Astra Militarum, in the Imperial Guard? Yes, we have Ursula Creed. I haven't read her novel yet, but I honestly do not care. She's still a Creed. Yeah, her dad is gone. Well, he's still alive, but he's not active anymore. We can have more of her, I think. I still have to read her novel. But then again, it is more about fantasy. This is a male-dominated hobby, which, again, is fine. Because women also have their women-dominated hobbies. I don't know them because I'm a dude. I'm a guy. I'm a guy being a dude. And I've seen many women playing Sims, having the fantasy of, yeah, this is me in my house, and I'm going to make the guy that I have a crush on, I'm going to make the actor that I have a crush on, and we're going to play pretend family. Which is great. Do that. I know a lot of cosplayers. I modeled for a couple of months. I met a lot of women in modeling that also do cosplay. And do you know what they cosplay? They cosplay Sailor Moon. They cosplay attractive female characters. And yeah, that is the majority of the women. It's just as simple as that. And the male fantasy is mostly of power, which sounds wrong, and I totally admit that. But it is more about, I want to defend my loved ones. Why do you think so many people have this power fantasy of, I'm going to defend my loved ones and bleeding out in the snow? This is a common meme. I don't understand what this... Oh no, this is explain the joke. Sometimes all a man needs is to bleed out in the snow. There is a Reddit for that. Apparently. And dying heroically is a male power fantasy. It's just as simple as that. These are things that are encoded into our DNA. We cannot fight this. Again, with women having the fantasy of, yeah, I do love the rugged, hard man, and I will... Oh, almost knocked over my coffee. I will make him a good man. Why do you think there are so many romance novels about that? Just look at 50 Shades of Grey. Just look at, what was it? With the twinkling vampires? Twilight. Just look at that. Just look at Milking Farm, or whatever the abomination that is. This is a fantasy of women, apparently. I don't know, because I'm not a woman. But I can tell you what the male fantasy is. Why do you think guys are so excited of finding a stick while they walk in the forest with their wives or their girlfriends? Why do you think this is the thing? When I tell you, yeah, just imagine, also as being dungeon master, you're walking here and there is a dragon coming up to you. What is in your mind? Then and there. It's probably, I'm going to fight that dragon. Or just going with the meme, if you're a bard, oh, I'm going to lay that dragon. Also probably still in the cards. But yeah, we have this here. And I'm sorry that this is a long video. I usually don't do these. But this is important. New Custodes, your questions answered. Yeah, they know this. Let's address the Telemon in the room, shall we? Yes, some of those awesome new Custodes miniatures are female. Is this a new thing? Well, yes and no. It is a new thing. You did it, a new thing, and it was really, really lazy. It was just immediately thrown in. Let's go to one of my favorite retcons in 40k. Uriel Ventress, the very first novel, you know, the one that introduced the Necrons to the bigger picture of the 40k universe, because it came out basically side by side with the Necron Codex. The Origins of Uriel Ventris, by the way, is a short story written by Graham McNeil. And there we have, at the end, the Nightbringer. You know, the Catan, or however you want to pronounce it, the god of the Necrons, the death personification, the personification of death, basically. It is the Grim Reaper. In the 7th novel, when Uriel is already a Primaris Marine, they admit it's a shard of the Nightbringer, because this is where the overall narrative with the Catan went, which is an incredible retcon. That how they did it, how Graham McNeil did that. It is beautiful. It is a great retcon. Because before that, there was no shard. It was just the Nightbringer. And this was just thrown in there. So have you changed the lore? I thought all Space Marine and Custodes were male. Space Marines? Yes. As of right now. This will probably also change in the future, because men are not allowed to have a vent for reality. We are not allowed to have our escapism anymore. Again, I have the list of franchises and IPs in the beginning of the video. So, lore-wise, Space Marines are made from human males, willing aspirants or unwilling conscripts on the cusp of adolescence. Not all of them, just look at the Space Wolves. They are subjected to a series of horrific trials, and the strongest emerge as remorseless killers, their humanity stripped away so they can serve as living weapons in the Emperor's armies. There are no female Adeptus Astartes. So, yes, but this is also... Let's move on first. Custodes are not Space Marines. That is correct. Other than the obvious point that they are both towering gene-enhanced warriors, the similarities pretty much stop there. It's not just gene enhancement on the Custodes. It's total gene modification. They are not enhanced. They are being remade, basically, on a molecular level. Custodes are taken as infants and recrafted by ancient science. So are Space Marines. This is also ancient science. And the Emperor had basically no hand in the creation of the Space Marines. We have this in the Horus Heresy novels, where they show us that a group of scientists made this. The black carapace is basically a skin of cancer that they implant into the Space Marines, and the Emperor again had no hand in this. The process is arcane and bespoke to each individual. Also, Space Marines. The Emperor himself retained oversight of the process, at least until the whole Horus Heresy thing went down. Yes, but aren't the Custodes made from the sons of Terran noble houses? Yes. Some of them are, yes, and also this word, some of them, is very telling that the majority of them are now female, which brings another lore-related difficulty in here. The Emperor is all about symbolism and authority, so those pre-unification patriarchal houses that passed their kingdoms down to firstborn sons had those sons taken and remade as guardians of the Emperor. That is still true. So this is a big sacrifice for those houses, because again, the firstborn son is the heir of the house. They will take on the mantle of the father. But it is also a big honor to serve as the honor guard of the Emperor of Man. And there are also hostages, by the way. at the same time, because when the emperor gets at your door and knocks on your door and says, I want your firstborn to be my honor guard, well, you either say yes and give away your son, or you say no and get your house destroyed. But that was not the only source of recruitment, wasn't it? Other methods might have been equally overt, others far more secretive. Noble daughters could also have been taken. At some point, you run out of noble houses. So why do you run out of noble houses? Because there are no women anymore that can, well, I'm sorry for this word, but breed more people into those houses to have more sons and daughters. Do you see the flaw in this? Because one man can sire a lot of children. It's our biology. It's there. It's DNA. This is nothing that we can fight. But a woman has only a limited amount that she can do, because the 9-month cycle, obviously, for obvious reasons. This is also a time constraint thing. Just think about this. Even after you've conquered all of Terra, the inexorable war machine of the Imperial still requires a constant churn of recruits. So these are basically now downgraded to Astra Militarum recruits. These are not white shields. These are not conscripts. These are Custodes. They are the pinnacle of everything the person can be, basically a man can be. We also have the utmost inner circle of the Emperor. We have not the Dark Angels inner circle, but the people in the Custodes that the Emperor goes to and asks, what do you think about this? I forgot how many those were. I think 30 or so. So, how different are the male and female Custodes? All Custodes, male or female, embody the pinnacle of the genetic and cellular engineering the Emperor employed when creating his armies. They are all flawless creations, pushed beyond the limit of human potential. There is no difference in combat efficacy between a male Custodian and female Custodians. So, the thing here is genetic and cellular engineering. Okay, fine. But there is an inherent difference in a man's body and a woman's body. It's... If you have a car, let's just go with that analogy, I'm sorry, and you want to upgrade it. So let's just say you have a NOS injection because you want the boost. You want to drive really fast for a short amount of time. Do you build that one into, I don't know, a VW Käfer, we say in Germany, a VW Beetle, you know, the old ones, the iconic ones that are really funny and are still great, by the way. Do you build that in that? Maybe for shits and giggles, maybe for fun. Or do you build that into, I don't know, something with more oomph? Something that has at least 200 horsepower under the hood? I'm not a car guy, I don't know cars. I can put it in mine. It has 100, I think. When I press the pedal, it goes vroom. What do you do? It's just a simple question, isn't it? And there is no amount of genetic engineering that you can do because the framework is still the same. This is something that I can also go into 3D printing analogy, Prusa. has a great printer because you can buy one and you can buy upgrade kits to that. So you will never have to buy the full priced new one. You buy upgrade kits, which is great, which is awesome. That is absolute customer friendly thing. I'm sorry, I forgot the word. But here it is. You are still working with the same frame. Prusa needs a new frame for a 3D printer and start over again. You can change so many things. The core itself is going to stay. So, then we also have this article here. Where do you see the females here? This is again obfuscation. This is again helmet, helmet. Dude, helmet. Helmet, helmet. Helmet, helmet. Helmet, dude, dude, helmet. Where are the androgynous faces? Where are the female faces? We have tank, 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 dreadnought, 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 shield captain, helmet, helmet. There it is. One. These are dudes. These are dudes. These are dudes. Interesting that the Venatari are all dudes, isn't it? Tank, tank, tank. Book. That's it. We only, again, have one picture, and you have to scroll down a lot to see it. And by the way, this is more a face for a lady canoness, by the way. Is that just me, now that I look at it? Also, the laurels of the Emperor again. But yeah, we have the last one. This individual, Tom Mendelsohn, supervising editor at Games Workshop, was suspended for a while, is still working for Games Workshop. Just read this. I cannot read this out aloud. But then, this is someone who, well, celebrated the death of an individual. You can agree or disagree with people, but you don't celebrate their death. You don't celebrate violence. You don't call out for violence. This is inherently wrong. Don't you see what the problem is? This is one of the people that are still in the company. That is a problem. What are we even talking about? This whole article, Warhammer is for everyone. Fine. But that's also inherently wrong. Nothing is for everyone. You can try and have something for everyone. Coffee is not for everyone. Tea is not for everyone. You can say it's for everyone, but not everyone will enjoy it. Is that truth? Is that wrong? A PC is for everyone. No, it's not. At this point in time, we also have a PC is for the rich. A console is becoming more for the people that have money. And I'm at a point where I'm selling my 40k things for a while now. You see this bookshelf in the background? I still have my Ultramarine and Grey Knight shrine here. Everything Horus Heresy is gone. All of my codexes, except the Grey Knight ones, are gone. I sold my rule books and everything, and I'm just keeping a handful of things that I still enjoy, because some of them are old. I have books that are old enough that they're allowed to drink in America. They're 21 years old now. I love this hobby, and I want to stay it like it is. Don't be a blind consumer, please. I tried to do this video in a rational kind of way. I wanted to show you a lot of things. Again, it's more about the fantasy. It's about escapism. It's about the people that are trying to invade our space. And we have seen it again and again and again. Star Wars, Dragon Age, Doctor Who, they almost, or maybe they already killed Doctor Who, a series that has been on the air for 60 plus years. Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed. How many more things do we have to see crash and burn? They have to bring back Captain America and Thor into the new Marvel movies. Robert Downey Jr. is back because they know that nothing they did worked. All those virtue signaling does not work. I mean, people are still going to buy the Custodes. That's a given. I'm not. In the live stream, I said if Combat Patrol has a great box for the Custodes, I'm going to buy that one and play it. Whenever Combat Patrol also gets a good game, by the way, because right now it's terrible. This is why I play Spearhead. But now, I'm not going to play Custodes. I'm just going to play Grey Knights and Combat Patrol. And that's it. I still play Boarding Action, because Boarding Action is freaking amazing. Oh yeah, that rulebook I also kept, because it's great. You don't see men invading women's hobbies. I mean, there are men that are knitting, because it's a fun hobby, probably. I don't know. I can't knit. My hands are not capable of that. I think I've told you enough. This has been a very long video, and I'm very sorry about this. We're going to stream later today. I'm going to make this video a little earlier, but you will already see this one, so that there is time in between the video and the stream. This is a one-time thing. Starting tomorrow, we will have the regular uploading schedule. In Germany, it's 17 o'clock, it's 5 p.m. And wherever it is in your region. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. Please be civil. Please, we can still talk more about this. We can still talk about this in our live streams, which I try to do every day, but sadly I can't. Also because of health issues and so on. So, again, please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching until the end. It means the world to me. Do all the things that make the dings. Like, subscribe, whatever you have to do. Share this video with your friends. Turn off YouTube's restricted mode. And I will see you hopefully later in the stream or tomorrow with the next video. Bye, bye, bye.